Hey, I'm Megan, and this is 10 microeducation apps in 10 days. It's a self-imposed challenge where I build one tiny, functional, shareable app every single day for 10 days straight.
So I saw this video today on X from Mickey. He's someone that posts a lot on YouTube. He does really good tutorials, but he is talking about how Figma is doing a hackathon that they're calling the Makeathon, because there's something that they launched called Figma Make, which is their AI coding tool. So I'm going to be using Figma Make for the first time. And here's the information about the Makeathon. Let me see, it is Figma and Contra are hosting it together, and it is running for 4 more days until the 10th. And you enter on Contra, so you have to have an account here. But it's really exciting because I have never used Figma Make. I've used Figma before, and actually if you're an educator, you can get an upgraded educator account on Figma if you use your educator email. But if you join this Makeathon, you can get an upgraded professional account for the duration of the hackathon, and that allows you to use Figma Make. Now, I'm not sure if the educator account also has Figma Make as part of it. It pretty much matches what you get in the professional account. When I checked, all of the things that you could get under an educator account were also available for the professional account. So I'm not sure, I haven't checked, but I did just get the upgrade by signing up for the hackathon. So I'm excited to do my project today using Figma Make. So it's another new tool, which is the cool part about this challenge that I set for myself. People keep asking me why I did this, and honestly, I don't really know. Various reasons. I have a conference that I'm speaking at on the 18th, and I wanted to do something that I could talk about. I also just like challenges, and the 1st of September was coming up at that time, and I thought, why don't I do a challenge that starts on the 1st of September? And I also, it's given me the opportunity to try tools that I would not have tried if I wasn't doing this challenge. So I probably would not have used AI Studio apps, which I used yesterday. And by the way, they're also having a mini hackathon, a weekend hackathon, for people using Nano Banana. So I actually created my app within the time frame. So I might just enter my app. I might improve it a little bit and then enter it. And I also think this challenge has given me an opportunity to kind of step into or insert myself into spaces that I typically wouldn't belong. And that's something that I have really pushed myself to do more and more recently. I think in order to do great things, you have to enter spaces that you haven't been a part of. So I'm not a designer, but I want to enter the Makeathon. I am not a programmer, and I've learned how to build apps. So I think, and I didn't consider myself a speaker for a really long time, but I've spoken at conferences. So I think if you want to do great things and if you want to grow as a person, you have to insert yourself into spaces that you don't think you belong and make it so you belong there. So it's a big part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I also think that's a sentiment that I would like to share with educators, hoping that educators take more of that perspective, because there's so much that needs fixing in education, and we can talk about it all day and we can complain about what's not happening, but you just have to insert yourself into the spaces and start doing the change yourself. So that's just a little bit of a spiel for today, but we'll step into the actual build now so you can see what I've made using Figma Make. So I had a prompt that I put into Figma Make. We're on the Figma Make dashboard right now, and it's something that I had created very similar to yesterday, thinking that I was going to do this build from scratch. But since I ended up deciding to do this in Figma Make, I wanted to see the power of its prompting. So I decided to do this all with prompting inside of Figma Make. So I just gave it that very detailed build plan and let it run. So here it's like many AI builders. It has that chat on the left, and then the app would show up on the right. And it has, you can see the animations are very Figma-like. I kind of like that. It's very different than what you see on other AI builders. And I like that you see all the code running on the left side. In a lot of AI builders, you can toggle to look at the code as it's building, or you can look at the screen that would have the app. But I kind of like looking at the animations and also have the code running on the left. So it's going through, it's creating this. I was surprised at how much code was visible when I first started running this, because Figma isn't typically thought of as a coding platform. You know, you think of it as something that designers use, something that you can create prototypes and wireframes in. And I've used it a little bit before I took a class that used Figma, but not that extensively. So here we can see it's created our app. This is the first run of it. I don't like the background. I don't like the little icon it's created, but the content of it is good. Like, it has the chatbot is there. There's some scrolling issues, it seems, but it is acting like a chatbot. Okay, here are some edits that I've made. You can see the little icon for the mascot's different, as well as the background. Now, when you click on this, it will scroll properly, and you can type your question down here, or you can click on one of the predefined topics, and it fills out the answer there. Okay, let's talk about some changes. So I've made some visual changes, and I also added a sign-in page, which we're not looking at right now because I'm already logged in. But when you go in, I have this better aligned, so I'm going to click this option. Also, I have an admin panel, and the hamburger menu has the knowledge base here and sign out for signing out of your account. The knowledge base shows what documents have been uploaded into the knowledge base that the chatbot is referencing. I really like this because, you know, if you are an educator, an administrator, whatever, and you are going through and asking the chatbot, you might want to know what it's pulling from in case it doesn't align with the guidance wherever you live. And so right now I've uploaded IDEA parts B and C. I have a PWN checklist and SPED timelines uploaded. So that's what the chatbot should be referencing. And real quickly, I did set up a Supabase account. I'm not always the biggest fan of Supabase. Well, I go back and forth. Supabase is pretty comprehensive in what it allows. It is hard for someone who builds a lot of projects to use Supabase because it only allows you to have a certain number of free projects. And then after that, the building on it does become a little bit steep once you have a lot of projects going. And if you're someone who creates a lot of projects and doesn't always complete them, and they linger for a while so you don't have paid users yet, then it can kind of rack up in billing. But it created it for me, it linked to it from Figma Make, and it created where it's storing my documents. So it looks like it's storing everything here. So it has, this is my user account and I'm a super admin, and then it has the documents I've uploaded so far. So that's been great. I'm going to show you now the admin panel. So I set it up where it's just available if you're a super admin, and then I made myself a super admin. So I have this place where you can upload documents, and then it saves it into the knowledge base that's here. So I'm going to show you by doing that. So let me see. We go through and find something that I want to include that I don't have already. So let's do the ADA Title II regulations, and we can choose what that is and click upload, and you'll see, okay, that is not working yet. So I had it is able to process PDF, and I asked it to also process CSV files, which it seems like it is not resolved yet. So I'm actually going to, I didn't expect it to do this, but this is a good chance to go in, and actually there was a warning. So this looks like it probably had an issue, perhaps relating to this. So let's see what happens when we run this. I found this is like most AI builders have this feature where it can fix issues for you. In Figma Make, it actually doesn't stand out as much as it does in some of the other builders. Some of the other builders, it's huge, and dialogue component. Okay, so it might not actually be the issue that I thought it was. Let me see if it has added it to Supabase or not? It has not. Okay, so there definitely is an issue in processing, but I asked it to just allow it because CSV files actually should be really easy for Supabase to process as an embedding, because, you know, I mean, CSV files are easy for anything to read. So let's see it fix this first. I don't really know what it thinks the issue is. Okay, well, let's go back in and see. Okay, go back to the admin panel. So I don't think it was in here, but let me just see. Maybe it works now. Probably not. Okay, so MIME type is not supported. I am going to tell it CSV upload is not working. I get a warning that says is not supported. Okay, and we'll see it go through this. But basically, this is what I've been doing all day, is old school prompting. I actually haven't done this in a really long time. And I will also say that Figma is pretty easy. Figma Make is pretty easy to use when it comes to just prompting for building. It has this feature here where you can click on an actual element within your project and tell it, like if you click on something, that shows up there, and then you can tell it to make changes there. And they have this feature in other products, but I think Figma, being a design product, is actually really good at doing this, which makes sense. So I've done a couple edits just by clicking and making the edit. You can also, you can click and you can make the changes yourself. Like I could change the font, change the color, the color of the background, all of this. And these are, you know, this is what it would look like in Figma, some of these tools. So that's pretty nice. That has worked really well. So it's running through this, it's making some edits. I will make some edits before I come back and show you a working product. Okay, quite literally seconds after I ended that last recording, Figma came back with an update and it has fixed the issue, and we are now able to upload CSV files. So can I also say I really like that it puts the document name under document title, so I don't have to go and type it again. That's just a small thing, but I really like that. So when I upload now, you can see upload was successful, and if I go in here, you can see it appear. So it is working, and it will appear down here as well. And oh, this also fixed itself. So these were from before, and I think they're just stuck like this. I can tell it to change it, but I don't really care that much. But I told it that it was an issue, that it said processing forever, and it looks like it fixed it, because this is what I tried initially when I saw that it had come back with an update, and it now says processed, which is great, and so does this one. That's really exciting. So I can then go in and just continue uploading all of my files, and we will soon have everything we need to then use the bot and chat with it on the documents that we have uploaded. We have an app. I'm so excited. Here it is with the login screen that I was talking about earlier that I didn't show yet. So it has, again, that style of background that I like. It has our little logo here, and I'm going to sign in. And that takes us into this platform. So if I click Get Started, I can say I'm an administrator. And a couple things have been changed, including the hamburger menu now has all my different items. And I can type in here, let's say, when should a child with hearing loss have an IEP instead of a 504? Good question, I think. Let's click send, and you will see it's thinking, and after a few seconds it should give us a response. There we go. So you can see a very detailed response, and this is correct. It's pulling from different sources. You can see here it tells you source 1, source 2, and it looks like it consulted IDEA and section 504, and it states that here in the sources. It looks like it has looked at other sources as well. This is great. That is our working chatbot.